just going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison, he who remains. God damn it. Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? Back with a brand new action figure review. And today we're going to take a look at the new Hasbro Marvel Legends He Who Remains, based on his appearance from Loki, aka Kang the Conqueror. But I just got this in from Big Bad Toy Store, so shout out to them for the fast shipping. Now, this is part of the Khonshu Build-A-Figure wave, which I am not going to complete, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But like we always do with reviews, let's get started with the box art first, which, I don't know, it just doesn't look good aesthetically. Anyways, there's the image of the figure, Loki on the bottom. And then this is why I'm not going to complete this figure, is because there's only really 3 figures from this wave that I want. It's He Who Remains, Classic Loki, and Agent Jimmy Woo. I mean, Red Skull's nice, it's a reuse. Howard the Duck is basically a static figure, and I don't really have any attachment to Zombie Scarlet Witch, or I think Iron Man's part of this wave too. But anyways, there's the Build-A-Figure right there. And then on the back is He Who Remains with the Build-A-Figure piece that he comes with, and the apple. Anyways, that's enough about... there's the image of Jonathan Majors, He Who Remains. Anyways, yeah. And that's the gambit. Let's go and get He Who Remains out of the box. All right, here's He Who Remains out of the box. Let's take a look at his accessories, I guess. So he comes with the Build-A-Figure head of Khonshu, which, again, I'm not going to build. Then the next accessory piece he comes with is an apple, which... I guess looks good for a 1/12 apple. That looks like it's rotting over there. Yeah, I mean, what accessories do you really give He Who Remains? Because if we remember in episode 6 of Loki, he really didn't have anything but the apple in the beginning when he was first introduced. All right, now let's take a look at the figure itself, and we'll get started with the head sculpt first. And I think the likeness to Jonathan Majors is spot on. So this is another one that's a hit for the Photo Real Tech, because you can definitely see the likeness to the actor right there. I think this looks great. I do like the sculpting of the hair as well. And you can see like the wrinkles on his forehead for his expression. This is pretty good. So overall, good job on the head sculpt. All right, now we'll take a look at the rest of the figure. It's a pretty simplistic design when we look at it. I think they did get the sculpting down right in terms of his outfit. And I do like the little patterns you see right here on his robe or his cloak. But that looks pretty good. And then you can see like the wrinkles throughout. Now here's the cool thing that I like. It shows his sleeves coming out of the robe, which is a nice attention to detail. And then you can see... If we zoom in closely here, this is the piece that I believe Sylvie took in the last episode, which basically can help him like time travel or go to different multiverses, I guess I should say. I don't know. Some of the comments below is going to correct me if I'm wrong. And then when taking a look at the inside of the outfit, you can see the design and the sculpting right there. It's a little messy, but it is what it is. And then when we look at his feet, he has his Birkenstocks on, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, though, like I said, overall simplistic design, but I think it does look pretty spot on what we saw on the show. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And when taking a look at articulation, here's where there's some struggles, and I'll get to that in a second. But his head can look from side to side. Can't really look up too much, but can definitely look down a lot. And then has that gappage right there, which looks kind of ugly. Then there is a shoulder swivel right there. There is no bicep swivel, which is understandable just because of the design of his outfit. It is a single jointed elbow, but I can see already it does get a nice range, more than 90 degrees, and you can also swivel it back and forth. There is a hinge at the wrist, so you can move it up and down and swivel it all around. Now there is a diaphragm cut. This is what I'm talking about, where there's a struggle. This is a nice overlay for his robe, but the problem is it will hinder your articulation, especially when you're trying to move back or trying to do something with it. It does hinder it a lot, especially the skirt piece right here, because he does have articulation. There's a thigh cut, there's double jointed pinless knees, and then also ankle articulation, ankle pivot. But like I mentioned, like if you want to have this figure sitting down, good luck with that, just because this rubber overlay is going to get in the way with that. All right, now we're going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison, here's He Who Remains next to a couple other Loki figures from the series. We have the Loki with the TVA from the Disney Plus Build-A-Wing set, and Sylvie from the Watcher wave. So overall, they do scale well, and seeing these 3 together is awesome, just because I recently rewatched episode 6. If you haven't seen Loki yet, I highly recommend it. If you have, I highly recommend rewatching episode 6, just because to me that was pretty epic to see the timelines like branch out, and just seeing Jonathan Majors' performance in that. He literally stole the show in that episode. And next size comparison, here's He Who Remains sitting next to Miss Minutes, which came with a Funko, I think it was Ravonna. which I just use for my display just because I think it scales well, and the Marvel Legends Mobius on his jet ski. Last size comparison, here's He Who Remains standing next to a couple Kang figures from the Marvel Legends wave. We have the Marvel Legends Kang from the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure wave, which has a custom Kang the Conqueror head sculpt I got from eBay, to be honest with you. But basically, it's supposed to be in the likeness of Jonathan Majors. That was before we got the trailer. I got this, I think, about a year ago. And then we have the actual stock head sculpt right here. And this is something I wanted to try out. I think I saw MCU Collector do it, but I wanted to see if this Jonathan Majors head sculpt works on this Kang the Conqueror figure. So, head swap. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it works. Sweet. So, I think, if you saw, again, Episode 6, that last scene, you do see him in his traditional Kang the Conqueror outfit. I think that works for now, but I also believe that at some point, now that we saw the Quantumania trailer, we will get an actual MCU Kang the Conqueror figure. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but I think this works for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, some overall thoughts on the figures. It's an okay figure. The head sculpt's fantastic, though. Don't get me wrong. The likeness to the actor Jonathan Majors is on point, so it's another hit for the Photorealtech on that regard. The outfit is sculpted nicely. I do like the rubber overlay for his robe, but that is also where the drawback is as well for this figure in terms of articulation. You really can't pose him around too well in that many dynamic poses or even having him sitting down just because that hinders a lot of the movement. However, it is on point to what we saw in the series though. Overall, though, it is a nice addition to the collection, and I am happy that they actually made the ball peg consistent with the other Kang the Conqueror figures so we can do some head swaps. But don't get me wrong, like I said, I think sooner or later we're going to get a reveal for the Quantumania wave. But yeah, it's a nice figure overall. Let me know what you think in the comments below, YouTubers. What do you think about this figure? Will you be picking it up? And how do you feel about He Who Remains in Episode 6 of Loki if you haven't already seen it yet? Get on that. But yeah, sound off in the comments below, and like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.